So she played herself. She definitely played herself, man. I'm all alone. And she's talking about you ruined her relationship. No, 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 no. You ruined your own relationship. Ex-girlfriend wanted an open relationship. I made her single immediately. One thing I don't do is play around with my time. My ex-girlfriend thought she could do that. We were only dating for 2 months before I discovered she wanted an open relationship, and she cheated as well. I allowed this bitch to come to my house and eat my mother's cooking, food that my dad paid for after busting his butt at his job, using our air, drinking our water. My parents allowed her to sleep over. She didn't get along with her parents, and you have the nerve to have an entire relationship elsewhere. Her boyfriend was moving back into our town. He was discharged from the army. I was a placeholder for her, and I didn't know that. I guess you said vet before getting serious with someone. 2 story. Now, how many may say it's not that big of a deal because I'm only 18? We're both 18. I still live with my parents, and she did me a favor. Yeah, that's cool and all, but I don't like wasting my time, and she completely wasted my time and played with me. All those messages I saw on her phone. When we went to the movies, I paid for it. When we go to Raising Cane's, because she loved it, I paid for it. We go to the mall, and she wants Cinnabon or pretzels. I paid for it. She never spent a dime, but she was freaking using me. Her boyfriend enlisted into the army, but he was sent back home quick. I saw the messages he had with her. Apparently, he had some medical issue and he couldn't join the army, and they sent him home. He was discharged. I don't know exactly what, but that's the reason. She was so happy. He knew nothing about me, but I told him. He found out. She's all by herself now. He's not dealing with her, and I'm especially not dealing with her. Now I know most of you may say that we weren't dating long enough. Dude, get over it. Well, I am over it, but I still came across this channel and decided, well, maybe I should share my story. I wasn't married or anything, thank God, but I went through a situation that was an open relationship situation, sort of. Hopefully my story is beneficial. Let me know if it is or not. I'm going to send this anyway, so this is all very recent. I invited my ex-girlfriend to Thanksgiving dinner. Well, because I caught her cheating, and she was lying, but I met my ex-girlfriend over the summer June, to be specific. Man, not to sound soft to your listeners or anything, but I had recently just got my heart broken. I was dealing with someone. We had been going great for 11 months, at the time in June. We were talking on the phone one day, and then the next day, she just stopped talking to me. I remember the last thing she sent me was a picture of her in her garage, talking about she was going to clean it out. She was older than me, 29, and owned her own home. I end up calling her, no answer. I texted her back, no answer. It's now going on for 48 hours. I just didn't hear from her. I'm getting worried and I drove up to her house. She actually lived 35 minutes from me. I'd initially met he on Hinge. Funny, I see she's back on there, so whomever she left me for, I guess it didn't work out, or maybe she's cheating. I don't know. So, I drive up, I get there, and I'm knocking on the door, and no answer, but her car is there. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I did. I felt bummed out about this man. I never want to feel this way again. And after getting with my recent ex, seeing how she used me, I don't want to do relationships at all. I'm focusing on my career and everything. But just to tell you where my headspace was when I met my recent ex-girlfriend, I was kind of needing someone and the attention after getting ghosted. It came along at the right time. The ex that broke my heart, she eventually reached out to me. But at this time, I was talking to my more recent ex that just played me. When the first ex reached out to me and said she was sorry, she told me how she was a coward. I was asking her, "Are you okay? What happened?" Honestly, thought something horrible happened to her. I cried and everything. She's just telling me how she's a coward and she made a mistake. She just needed time alone and she didn't know how to tell me. It was a bunch of stuff that did not make sense at the end of the day. I found out from my close friend and that she was on a date with this guy. He said he saw her in the movie theaters kissing. This is the time she went ghost on me, so that proves that a woman just doesn't go ghost on you for no reason. She's cheating on you. There's another guy. That's what happened to me. But that hurt me even more. So I was accepting her calls. She was telling me how she was a coward. She was apologizing to me, but she wasn't telling me that she had met some other guy, but I found out from my buddy. I stopped receiving her calls and texts. She asked if I was still willing to help pay her mortgage. She started pursuing me, begging me to talk to her, asking me what's wrong. Eventually, she just stopped. For the record, I'd never given her money for bills, but that was a conversation we had because she needed help until she started her new job. I got the information I need. I believed my friend. He wouldn't lie to me like that, but this is when my recent ex came along. I met her at Dunkin' Donuts. I've never gone inside a Dunkin' Donuts. I'd usually just grab something in the drive-thru. This time, I decided to go in and eat, and I was there by myself. She kept peeking up at me. When I finally caught her, I asked her, "What are you looking at?" She smiled and she grabbed her food and came over to my table. She introduced herself, and we just started talking. We hit it off. So, like I said, I recently had my heart ripped out of my chest. So meeting someone who was attractive, who likes me, made me feel really good. And that's why we hooked up so quick. I had no idea that she had a boyfriend that she'd been with for 3 years. Just go to the military. And she was still in a relationship with him, but she was cheating on him with me. By mid-July, we told each other we were going to be monogamous and exclusive. She was always at my parents' house. By the way, I live with my parents. She come over all the time because she didn't get along with her parents at all. My mom took her in just fine. She kind of felt bad for her. By the way, I'm not going to say any names here. I don't want to incriminate myself, have people upset with me, so I'll keep it at ex-girlfriend and actual titles, if that's okay. When she met my family, my ex-girlfriend brought up Thanksgiving and was asking how we celebrated Thanksgiving. I told her, and my mom also told her, that we shared it at the house with family and friends. My mom invited her and told her she could come. Ex-girlfriend cried in front of me, and my mom saying that she's never had that before. She's looking forward to it. The entire time we were together for just 2 months. She couldn't wait until Thanksgiving. She couldn't wait to sit at the table, tell stories, things like that. Well, that tramp messed that up. She'll never get the experience. At least not with me. Figure it out with somebody else. So like I said, we were together all the time. She was always at my house. I am in community college, and my ex-girlfriend was working at a grocery store. Also, the plan was for my ex-girlfriend, and her actual boyfriend was to get married so he could get more money from the military or something, and he was going to take care of her while he was away. Focus on his career, and then they'd be together sometime in the future. It was all planned out, and I read all of it in her text messages. I found out she was cheating. We were dating or in a serious relationship, not dating. We were. We were supposed to be monogamy. We had sex, and a couple times we didn't use protection, but I always pulled out. But that's not a good way to keep from having a baby. But one day, it had been a week where I was feeling a little weird about her on her phone. She come over, but she was on her phone a lot, and sometimes she stepped outside to answer phone calls. She told me it was her brother. I've never known her to have a brother the whole time we were together. Apparently his brother moved out and was living in a different state. I believe she said Ohio. Remember, I said we were not together that long, but I didn't find out about this brother until that day. She was on the phone all the time texting, so I decided to look over her shoulder to see her passcode. She put it in, and it was her birthday. Bingo. We were chilling watching the TV, and she asked me if she could stay the night. I told her my mom would be okay with it. Absolutely, we don't have to go to ask her. I'm sure she'll be okay with it. I went and shut my bedroom door. She fell asleep on me. I was up playing the game and she was laying on me. I was still able to hold the controller and play the video game, but then I saw her phone sitting right there in between us. I decided, well, let me check it out. So I grabbed her phone and I stuffed it in my pocket. She woke up and I said, "Hey, babe, I'm about to go and take a shower. I'll be back, okay?" I grabbed my towel and some clothes and I went out and I went to the restroom. I cut the shower on and I pulled her phone out. I started to go through it as soon as I unlocked it. She's knocking on the bathroom door. I had the door locked. She says, hey, open up. Open up. Now. I put the phone in the cabinet under the sink and opened the door, and I said, "Yeah, what's wrong?" She says, "Have you seen my phone?" "Your phone? No, I haven't seen it." She says, "Can you call it?" I say, "You have to get my phone to call." She went to the bedroom to go and get my phone. I quickly put her phone on silent mode and cut everything down, put it back where it was. She gave me my phone to call her phone. I hope didn't accidentally leave it on vibrate. We didn't hear anything. We were looking in the room, and I didn't hear anything. I said, "Here, you need a phone, just use my phone." I unlocked it, and then I told her my passcode. I need to take my shower. I went back in there. I sat on the toilet, and I went through her phone. My girlfriend was cheating on me. She had an entire relationship with the guy in the military. They were talking about marriage, and he had his whole plan for them to be successful. So in the newer messages, he was talking about how he needed to come home because they were letting him go because of a medical issue. He can't be part of the military at all. He was basically discharged. Now this is how I found out about the open relationship she wanted with me. She didn't tell him, her actual boyfriend. She was excited that he was coming home, but I read another message that she had with her girlfriend. Actually, it was a group chat with other girls, and she was asking them what she could do because she liked me and my family was rich to her. By the way, my family is nowhere near rich, not even close. They're just good with money, but they're not rich. She was telling her friends that my parents were rich and she wants to have my baby. She wants to be with me, but she also loves her current boyfriend who has her heart. He will always have her heart. They all agreed that she should ask me for an open relationship. Let me go free and do what I want, but make sure I use protection so I don't get another woman pregnant. And then eventually, she was supposed to get her actual boyfriend to go along with an open relationship as well. Basically, she wanted her cake and eat it too. She had this whole elaborate plan. I actually went and took my shower when I got done. I dried off, put my clothes on, and I walked in the bedroom. She was on my phone sitting there laughing, watching YouTube videos. I said, "What's so funny?" She's telling me how she's watching some video of people making fun of Donald Trump and how he's such a douchebag idiot. I pulled out her phone. I said, "Hey, I have your phone right here." She says, "What? Where'd you find it?" I said I had it the whole time. She says, "What do you mean? So you lied to me? You told me you weren't that type of person. You lied to me." I said, "So you have a boyfriend?" She would not let go of the fact that I just lied to her and took her phone. I said, "Listen, what you did and what I did, it's not the same. Does not outweigh what you've been doing to me for the past 2 months. You've been deceiving me. You you have a whole relationship that you've been in for a while. You plan on marrying this man. You're telling your friends that you're going to ask me for an open relationship, like I'm going to go for that crap. You must be out of your rabbit ash mind. Get the F out of my parents' house right now. We are done. I told you all about what happened to me. You turn around and you pull this crap. I can't take this shish anymore. I swear I'm gonna off one of you bitches. I'm tired of people doing me dirty. I don't do anything wrong. Leave me alone if you're not gonna be true. This is when my parents woke up. I was screaming and I was crying. I drug her out. I kicked her out of my place. My mom came downstairs. My dad came down. I told him what happened. My mom hugged me. She made my dad give my ex-girlfriend a ride home because she didn't have a way to get home. But I'm about to tell you guys,
I couldn't believe it at first. My mom didn't believe it at first, but why would my dad lie about this? So my dad gets back home, and it took him a little while. My mom was asking why it takes so long because they did not live that far. My dad said he walked up to the door and he demanded to speak to her father. My mom said, "Demanded? Why did you demand to speak to her father? She was cheating on our boy. We don't need to talk to the parents about that." My dad says, "No, I didn't tell them that she cheated on my son. I told him that she was trying to sleep with me. And I told him that he needs to get his daughter some help. I am a grown man. She is a child to me who is dating my son. You don't try to have sex with his father." I could not believe what I was hearing. So my dad tells me that during the ride, he kept feeling her hand on his arm while his arm laid on the armrest. He thought maybe it was an accident, but when he finally looked over, they were in the light, ready to make a turn. She's rubbing on his arm, and he looks at her. She's smiling, and she suggests that they have sex. Just like that. Saying that my dad was a real man, and if she wanted to know what it was like being with the real man of the family. My dad said he screamed at her and told her to stop. He pulled out his phone and stated recording. We saw that part of the recording, but in the recording, she wasn't doing anything or saying anything. My dad was doing all the talking, saying, "Do not touch me again. I'm taking you to your parents. We are not having sex or anything. Don't ever talk to me like that. We're not going to have sex. Do you understand me?" She just sat there silent, head down and everything. Before my dad started talking to her father, the video ended. I said, "What the heck did I get involved with? This girl was freaking disgusting." My ex-girlfriend did reach out to me, and we talked for a little bit. I wasn't going to take her back, but I was asking her questions like, "Why would you do this to me? Did you try to sleep with my father?" She admitted to doing so in text messages. I had it all. Then I asked her about her boyfriend and why she felt the need to cheat on him and not tell me up front. We could have just remained friends. She started telling me all about it, and eventually I got his name. I found him on Facebook. They were friends, but they didn't have any relationship status like normal people do. I reached out to him and I told him everything. I sent him pictures. I sent him text messages. I told him about her, how she tried to sleep with my father. I told him how she slept with me all the time, how we didn't use protection sometimes. He thanked me for telling him that, said he would never deal with her again, and he said he was going to kick her to the curb. I wasn't sure if he was going to do so or not, so I saw her again, right before Thanksgiving, a few days before at Hobby Lobby. I was picking up some stuff for school. She was there buying some decor, asked her how she was doing, and she told me, miserable, that she wishes that she can come spend Thanksgiving at my place. I told her no, absolutely not. I told her maybe you should go with your boyfriend. She screamed at me a little bit and said, "What boyfriend? You ruined that for me. I don't have anybody right now. I might as well just off myself." And that was the last time I seen her just not too long ago. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't want to see her anymore. Hope my story is useful. Thanks.
So she played herself. She definitely played herself, man. I'm all alone. And she's talking about you ruined her relationship. No, 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 no. You ruined your own relationship. You got with this guy at Dunkin' Donuts knowing that you had a whole entire relationship, boyfriend, but he's off in the military and she's looking for somebody else. This is what they do. This is what they do. Oh, I'm bored now. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go jump on a D. She had a boyfriend and she's having unprotected sex with somebody else. And she's telling her friends in the group chat, I want to get pregnant by him. His parents are rich. Oh, she was setting up the play the whole time. I'm just going to ask for an open relationship because you already got somebody. This is just nasty work here, man. What is wrong with the... Oh, my God. Oh, dude, you did the right thing. You got rid of her, man. And yeah, it was a short relationship. It was short, but in that short time, you learned something. And it sounded like it was back to back for you. You went through something. You was with some girl for almost a year. It sounded like she was older. Yeah, she probably was playing with you, man. Luckily, you didn't give her a dime. It sounds like she was trying to get you to pay her mortgage and her bill. Don't do that. Guys, don't ever pay a woman anything. Listen, if you want to date, you want to hang out, you want to pay for the meal, that's fine. You want to pay for the date, that's fine. You're enjoying it too. But if that's not your wife, do not be paying her bills. Don't pay her cell phone bill. Don't pay her water bill, cable bill, mortgage, rent, gas, insurance, credit cards, none of it. Don't pay any of it. It's not your responsibility. She's an adult. And if she's requiring you to do that, to be with her, you need to leave her alone. She's not worth it. Guys, if you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.